Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to greet you again from a very sunny and very hot summer in Puerto Vallarta, still in Puerto Vallarta. And as such, I in fact have a fan behind me. You may be able to see it if I just move a little. It's really very, very hot. It's been very hot these past days, and couple of days back at night it was somehow a rainy night, but you know what happens when it rains on hot days. The moisture tends to just skyrocket, so we are with very high humidity, very sunny day, and very hot, so it's kind of difficult to to carry out with the weather. So I hope you can apologize me if at some moments the sound of the fan just enters this recording. So excuse me, apologies for that. But there is no way I can record this without having some background support. Okay. So, I have already left on the screen the song that we will be talking about today. But before we jump into the song, as you can certainly see, we have Arrullo by Maestro Mario Talavera. There are a couple of things that I would like to share with you before that, and before that, so I'm going to leave the 50 music postcards that we use for to start all recordings, and that this is because even though this is not the first time that Belinda Ramirez comes to my mind, I was really thinking that maybe today we should be giving her the credit that she has. As you may be very aware, what I like to do at the beginning of this making of is to share with you how it is that I learned of a song, how is it that I liked it. And it is in fact that the song Arrullo, I heard it from Belinda Ramirez. She's a Mexican soprano, and I don't recall any other either male or female singer actually singing it. I have to be very sincere. It is not that I fell in love with this song tremendously as I have done with some other songs in this series, but I felt that because we humans tend to do that, right? We keep in mind all the songs that we are very passionate about, and we tend to leave in second and third place those others that we don't really feel like a match to us. And I was telling myself that even though it was not one of my favorite songs, it really didn't mean that it wasn't a good song. It was just that I had preferences towards other songs rather than this one, but it didn't make it any worse. Or as it has happened in some other cases, it is just that I never really paid enough attention to it. So that's how Arrullo came to my mind. And right after thinking of Arrullo, the next name that came to my mind was Belinda Ramirez, and this is where I would like to talk a little about her. I was still very young when I first knew about her, and I knew about Belinda because she was, I would say, a favorite, if even not that frequent or as frequent as we would have wanted it to be. But she was frequently invited to some of the concerts that were presented during the late 90s, early 2000s. And I recall Belinda that I was very impressed by her presence. She's a tall woman, at least tall compared to the size that Mexican women usually have. So she's a tall woman. She's a very beautiful woman, by the way. And before I forget, you can also watch a whole concert of her in the collection that I have here, the conciertos from El Palacio del Arzobispado, a very beautiful place. In Mexico, there was a good number of concerts, and I have been very lucky of recording one of them. And you can find a recording of her in there because it's really worth seeing her. And going back to the first impressions, and it is not only the first impressions that I had of her, I saw or I attended Belinda's concerts or whenever Belinda was singing for a good number of times, not only at the Museo del Chopo, of which we have spoken in the past as well. She used to be invited and not only by herself, but she was also invited with a group of other sopranos and usually a baritone and a tenor. So there were very nice. They were very nice concerts because we had not only the solos, but we also had some duets. And also one thing that I would like to say about Belinda is that she's also a very charismatic and professional woman. Every time I recall her with fully concentrated, fully given everything she has in her abilities to perform what she had to sing, and also being very cooperative with her colleagues. I recall her supporting the tenor when he was feeling not that good at the end of the duet. I recall her not taking much extra time on the stage than the necessary to get the applause. I recall her being very friendly with all the attendants to her concerts, very open to signing, to giving any autographs that one may request. And all I have of Belinda are good memories. A great artist, a very nice voice, a very talented woman, and a great person. I had the chance of seeing her or listening her sing, watching her sing at the Museo del Chopo at the Fronton Mexico. I recall that one very good because she sang with a few other singers. Among them, it was José Luis Duval, of which we haven't spoken here, but it was José Luis Duval as well. So the Fronton Mexico, the Museo del Chopo, very often at the Museo del Chopo, also at the Conservatorio Nacional de Música, the official music conservatory for Mexico. And of course, in she sang a couple of times in the Palacio del Bellas Artes. I saw her singing one of the roles for Carmen. Really did attend that, but I saw that video recently. I understand that she also had the chance of singing La Traviata in Bellas Artes. Unfortunately, I feel like she didn't have the support that she really deserved. And we are reaching to the point where I share with you how is it that I learned that I heard this song from her. And I recall that having attended many of her concerts, I also recall his husband, Daniel Garay, because he used to do the introduction and presentation of each of the songs in the program. I recall him being, besides being a complete gentleman, being I think that that he was very happy that not only he loved Belinda as a singer, but also as the woman he chose for to be with him. So I recall them also to be a very happy couple, and I recall also that, as I have mentioned in the past, it is very common for, well, not very common, but when it happens, it's very unfortunate, as Mexican singers usually do not have support from anybody. I recall Belinda and moreover his husband telling us to, at the end of the concert, go and buy one of the cassettes. Yes, for those who are very young, don't know it, but it was much easier then in the late 90s and early 2000s to buy a cassette for a singer to have it recorded with his own resources. That was the best he could do, record a cassette, tape, audio tape. And my first, let's say, official or not recorded from the radio cassette was Belinda Ramirez recording. It was El México de Siempre with a selection of a number of fine songs, songs in Spanish from very famous composers. And I recall that I used to play it very often, that I learned many of those songs by listening and singing along with Belinda, so I am very used to the way she sings. I also recall her at the conservatory, as I was just saying. I recall her being so very happy of having been invited to sing there. So there are only positive things that I can say about Belinda. Only unfortunate that she didn't get the support that she deserved because she's an extraordinary human and an extraordinary singer. Another nice thing is that if you look for videos of her in YouTube, you can find them very easily. Just type Belinda Ramirez and you will have her there. And enough of that, but let's listen to the actual recording of Arrullo by Mario Talavera, which is the song that we are listening to today as part of the making of music. I'll go back to the composer in a couple of more notes, and before I go to the translation and some notes. But let's listen to her. Unfortunately, the quality of the recording is not very good. As I was sharing with you, it was in fact a studio but audio tape recorded, and I managed to transfer it to MP3 a few years ago, but the quality was not what it was really on the tape. The sound tends to the sound is for me too metallic, too harsh. I don't know. The quality of analog tapes was much better than this that I have here, but it's also I am also very proud and happy to share with you. And before I wrap my memories of Belinda Ramirez, I would also like to say that I recall that one day, well, my mother used to work for the local government in the place where I used to live when I was 24 or maybe less. I think around 24. And that she arrived one day and she was very happy because she said that she had a present for me. And this was a tape autographed by Belinda. The second of her tapes, my mother shared with me that that day she had a presentation on the local auditorium that unfortunately very few people attended it. So, but fortunate side of it is that since very few people attended, they had the chance of having some conversations with her, with Belinda, and that she agreed to give that autograph for me. I'm pretty sure she never really knew that I had already. I mean, my mother never really knew that I had already attended Belinda's concerts. But that is a different story. So I kept those two tape recordings for as long as I could until I lost my way of listening to them again, and that's how I transferred it to tape. So, but let's listen to this amazingly beautiful, fine song by Mario Talavera, Arrullo.
Cierra tus lindos ojos que tienen sueño y
even though, or despite the fact that it is not a complicated, once again, it's not a complicated song in terms of notes, it is a very complicated song in terms of the fineness that one needs to have to sing this. So I found that arrullo, the word in Spanish, is like coo in English. It is a song, a sort of a lullaby, but not for children. So it is a song that is used for um the melody is used to have people get to sleep. You know, very calm, nice music, like for taking usually children, but in this time we're talking about a full grown, so like carrying on with the melody so that the beloved person can go to sleep. That could be the Arrullo by Maestro Mario Talavera. Once again, very unfortunate that it is very difficult to get any information on our Mexican composers. There's very little here, very little there. And besides the quality of the song, or unfortunately, the quality of the music he composed has not been enough to have somebody really build something around Mario Talavera as the true institution that he was for the art, the music in Mexico. So I'm very sad about that. But let's going back to the positive side of the song. The arrullo, I just explained what arrullo really means, and the music and the song goes like Cierra tus lindos ojos que tienen sueño. What you're sharing here is that you're asking your beloved person, the person you love, to please close his or her beautiful eyes because his or her eyes are feeling asleep. So if you're feeling asleep, just please close those beautiful eyes and go to sleep with the cooing of my song. This song that I sing for you to dream in all those things that I dream about myself. So I would like to share with you the same things that I dream. I really would like you to dream the same things. So de esta canción que canto para que sueñes. And by the way, having marked this expression, I wanted to share something with you that one cannot really grasp by just listening, but actually when rehearsing it. And the thoughts that I wanted to share with you is the way this expression flows. Look, de esta canción que canto para que sueñes. But you have to take it, even though it is not, it doesn't have the notes that I don't have to, how they are called in English, that telling us that they are legato. But this whole phrase has to be legato and feel how you're reaching to the high note, and then slowly, as you pronounce each of the syllables, you're now going down on the scale, and you say, esta canción que canto para que sueñes. You see how well it flows? Que canto para que sueñes. It is not que canto para que sueñes, que canto para que sueñes. It is que canto para que sueñes. Because if we want to take somebody to go to sleep, you cannot do it like I was showing you, like que canto para que sueñes, with the total intonation of each of the vocals of I pre-marked each of the vocals, but you have to make it like like sliding. Que canto para que sueñes en todas estas cosas que sueño yo. And when you have the whole phrase, esta canción que canto para que sueñes en todas estas cosas que sueño yo. Now it feels like you are really taking or helping somebody, or with the use of your music and your song, helping your beloved one to quietly fall asleep, right? That's the immense genius of Mario Talavera when composing this beautiful song. And now it is repeated two times, and then you go to the following text in the music, and you go, "Oh my God, we're already over the 20 minutes. I'm going to speed up. Sorry for that. 25 minutes max, I promise." Now I ask you to please close your divine eyes that are already asleep and get to sleep. As I am cueing you, I am, bringing this beautiful melody for you to sleep. Still, this is a somehow a sad phrase because it says, "You will be dreaming." You will be dreaming that you are falling asleep in my arms. You see, that's a very beautiful thing that couples like to do to fall asleep within the arms of each other. But this is the sad part. Como cuando era mío tu corazón. So what the phrase is telling us now is that we are actually wishing the best, actually singing this song for the person that we love, but that unfortunately is not with us any longer. Como cuando era mío tu corazón. The song goes there, for the second repetition and goes like that. Cierra pues tus divinos ojos con and before you will realize that between each of these phrases, song phrases by the voice, Cierra pues, you will listen or you listen in the actual postcard the sound of the piano with the notes playing very beautifully. If you listen, in fact, if you listen to just pay attention to the piano music, it's amazing how it carries the melody and how I try the voice and the piano to mix together, not competing in the volume or the sounds, but complementing each other. Because, for example, tus divinos ojos con sueño, and you hear the notes of the piano gi- giving a very nice rhythm in the background. Y duérmete al arrullo de esta canción, soñando que te duermes entre mis brazos. Of course, with a little sorrow, como cuando era mío tu corazón. We have to stop it here. Thank you very much for joining me on this making of video where I have talked about Maestro Mario Talavera's song, very beautiful song, Arrullo, and we have devoted a very good amount of this recording to talk about the splendid soprano that is Belinda Ramirez. Thank you very much, and I will be seeing you around some other time soon. Bye bye.